I wear white underwear all the time, and my dad, who I'd been living with my parents at the time because I was in $15,000 worth of debt and had been homeless previously, and my parents allowed me to come to their house in exchange for berating me every day, which is lovely. Um, and so I was doing that, and my mother happened to notice that my white underwear always had skid marks in them. Real fucking hot, ladies.
God, it's like,
And
why does she have to say anything? Why do you even know that
exactly.
she
Well, no, but
noticed?
the reason why I know this is because then my dad said, and I got him out. I was like,
Your
you know
dad
what?
got
My dad is an OxyClean expert. Like from the moment those fucking commercials came on with Billy Blanks, whatever the goddamn his name was, Billy something, you know what I mean? OxyClean. Like from the moment my dad was like an OxyClean fanatic. And he goes, yeah, it's just all about working it in while it's damp. And so he shows me this very specific method of getting really tough stains out of white things. And so I was like, I have one fucking shot, Katharyn. I will be right back. So I like, oh no, you ran to get the OxyClean.
I no, I had my roommate bring some home. I
Oh
texted
yeah.
my roommate when the tattoo started. I was like, yo, can you just like get OxyClean? And so of course this motherfucker's like, why? Like what's going on in the apartment? You know? But he brings it home and he just walks in and he like looks in the living room and I'm getting
Drops it.
tattooed on a totally stained couch.
On like a
and
fucked couch. Like this couch looks like a goddamn cow. Like it's not, it is not a white couch by any means anymore.
No.
It is 101 Dalmatians, black and white, fully. And so we finished the tattoo. She loves the tattoo, but there's still this like air, this thing in the air. It's like, I love this tattoo, you stupid, stupid, stupid motherfucker. And so I was like, okay, girl, you're gonna go get dressed for your show because you have about 15 minutes until you have to be there. And I'm gonna just work some OxyClean magic. And 15 minutes later, I tell you, all of the ink was out of this couch. And on
It was
top of
crazy.
that, I made her white couch actually fucking white. It was like, like you have a white couch after like 6 years or so. It looks white to your eyes, but like in reality, that's just not white anymore.
No.
Yeah.
So she apparently had a shitty roommate that used to sit on that couch and slob all the time, and he kind of stained
Axe
it.
body
Like,
spray. Axe body spray.
and so on top of getting all of this black ink out, I renewed her couch to brand new, and
Totally
I left
clean.
there feeling like a goddamn god.
It was beautiful.
I was like, but then I got to the man's house who I was staying with, the guy I was dating at the time, and then immediately realized that I forgot my backpack, which has my computer, all of my drawings, and everything important to me, because I was in such a rush of like adrenaline and excitement that I just grabbed my tattoo shit and ran out of there. So I had to make her wait for me to leave for the airport the next day to get my backpack from her. But I got to see the couch.
Yeah, and he came back.
It
It was spotless. The thing is, and then when he told me the story about his dad and his underwear, and I'm like, you know what, dad's like never had one. Wish I did. Maybe I would have a couch. You know, but it was so great. Just because, that air, because it was that air of like, I love you, but we both know this doesn't feel good. And then
if MTV was there filming a reality show, like we would have been in the season trailer for this reality show that was like, it gets so fucking dramatic. When two best friends can't fucking stand each other, you know what I mean? Well, it's really just one who feels bad and one who can't stand the other one. But
I love that story. Because the thing is, I was like,
I tell it at like probably half of the clients' houses that I go to, but like after everything is done and cleaned up, I'm like, this one time.
Katharyn had told me that story kind of, but she left out the part that just really makes the story. Katharyn, add this to the story when you tell it, about how she said to you, don't fuck up my couch. And
I forgot about that. Yeah.
She's going to get the towel.
Yeah.
And you're like, never in my life.
She walked back in the room with the towels in her clutches. I was holding the towel. Like,
and the best
crazy.
But also, if you had been a client, because like I do clients who find me through Instagram or word of mouth or whatever, and so like there are times where like, I've been having a conversation with you for a couple weeks about your tattoo. We sent messages back and forth, whatever. But there are times where like I show up to somebody's house and it's legit the first time I've met them. So like I frequently think of, the reason why all this was fucked up and my ink wasn't on is because the night before, a friend of mine, Lizzie, who was also who was learning to tattoo at the time, wanted to give me a tattoo, and she had just gotten fired from the shop she was working at for giving people tattoos outside of the shop. And I thought, as someone who taught themselves, I was like, this is egregious. We're gonna go back to your house, and you're gonna give me a big fucking tattoo. She was like, oh my god, amazing. But all of her equipment didn't work, so I took all of my fucking precious equipment out of my car, and I loaded it into her house. And then for 4 hours, she tattooed me while we were both on like copious amounts of cocaine. Can we talk about drugs? Copious amounts of
No.
Yeah, have you met me?
never.
Have you met me?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the content of this podcast is.
Oh,
But yeah, and so at like at 5 a.m, I was like, girl, you gotta stop. Like, I'm gonna puke. Like, what the fuck? This is like, we can't do this anymore. You're just like hurting me. And so I went to bed for like 4 hours, and then I had a big meeting with the gallery in Chelsea that day. And so my whole day was kind of this like crazy whirlwind. And so I never checked my kit to make sure that everything was good. I just like threw it back in the car. So on top of it, all of this was because I'm a fucking shithead. And like don't like at the time was like not treating my professional equipment like professional equipment. Yeah. And if it had been someone that wasn't one of my best friends, I think it would have been the end of my tattooing in people's houses. And luckily she had a little bit of faith.
It was so beautiful. I mean, it's true miracle. And just, I mean, I know you probably know a little bit about what's happened to me, but I had to end up selling all my shit in my apartment or
Right.
trashing the rest. This horrible thing. And that couch has now been purchased by a girl I used to work with at the dungeon. So happy to know that a dominatrix now owns that beautiful stain-free couch.
And she was like, it's so white.
Yeah, she said it's gorgeous.
This reminds me of my friend's undies. He loves these white
They're
undies.
just always so clean, and they look new, but he says they're not.
How does he not have skid marks? So many things have like stuck with me. It's like your dad going, you got to get it out while it's damp. So he's got your damp, like your underwear.
He's literally holding my shit in his hands for the first time since I was a tiny baby.
He's like rehydrated your dry shit. Do you know what I mean? He's like found dry shit, and then
the advantage of living with my parents is I did learn how to actually do my laundry correctly, because for years I was just like, you throw it in the machine, you put the fucking shit in the machine, and if something got a stain, it was just stained, and that's like it was until I decided it wasn't anymore. My mom was like, you can get stains out, and I was like, this sounds like a lot of work, but apparently it's just a little bit of scrubbing.
Listen, Ruth, don't fucking tell me. And she's like looking at your tattoos. She's like, you can get stains out of your skin.